Some people say you should never use Wikipedia for research. However, it is possible to use Wikipedia for research if you follow a few important guidelines. There are a number of concerns about Wikipedia. One of them is Wikipedia really accurate? I mean, after all, anybody can edit it, and what about those bogus edits that people make with inaccurate information? Well, the fact is, Wikipedia has a number of editors and responsible people keeping an eye on all of their pages to ensure that bogus edits do not stay up for more than maybe a few minutes. Every now and then they might last a little longer, but if you're using Wikipedia correctly, these bogus edits shouldn't trip you up for very long. So, teachers, why should I let my students use Wikipedia? Well, because overall, it actually does contain accurate information, and if your students follow these guidelines I'm going to set forward for you today, I think they can use Wikipedia as a very useful, small part of their research. When is it okay to use Wikipedia? Well, you can use Wikipedia as a starting point. However, I would never use it as an ending point or a main source of information, or especially not as your only source of information. If you're doing a serious research project for school, you should use Wikipedia only as a starting point. So, when is it okay to use Wikipedia? Well, here's a few things you can get from Wikipedia that will help you with your research. You can learn some terms to use in future searches. For example, names, scientific words, locations, or time periods, all of which might be good background information for you to learn, and also terms that you'll need for future searches as you try to find out more about these important aspects of your topic. In addition, Wikipedia pages have links to further information that can be very useful to you. So after I've looked at a Wikipedia article and learned some background information and some terms to use in my future searches, what's next? Well, like with any research source, you should always verify the information you find in Wikipedia with other multiple sources of information. Any good researcher would use multiple sources of information anyway. So you can build your basic knowledge with Wikipedia, but of course, then you'll go further with your knowledge through your research. Let's look at an example. Let's say your teacher assigns you a project to research the Teapot Dome scandal and explain its importance in history. You could start with Wikipedia, as seen in this example, and you can see in the very first paragraph there are a number of names, terms, and dates that will be very important to your research. For example, you would need to know that it took place in the United States. You would need to know the years, the administration of the president that was in power at the time, and also important names like the Secretary of the Interior, Albert B. Fall, and the name of the location, Teapot Dome. There's a Senator, Thomas J. Walsh, who investigated the problem. These are all important names and terms that you can use in further research. At the bottom of each Wikipedia page, there are quite often footnotes and suggestions for further reading. The footnotes tell you the sources of the information contained in the Wikipedia article. If you go to those sources, you will find more detail on each subtopic covered in this Wikipedia page. If you look at the further reading, many books are recommended that can give you good information about this topic. If you just skim through these sources, you can see that these are reliable sources. For example, books published through the University of California Press, documents from the U.S. Department of the Interior or the United States Senate, and other important sources such as the Louisiana State University Press. Therefore, if you use Wikipedia as your starting point, you now have a rich list of further resources to continue your research with. So the short answer to the question, can I use Wikipedia, is yes. As long as you follow these important guidelines, Wikipedia can be a very valuable component of your research.